I'm Shannon Thrasher, and this is 30-Second Tactics. And today you might notice I'm wearing a very 1980s super uncomfortable hard plate SWAT type vest in honor of what we're going to do today. I have a very old tear gas CN grenade here, and I don't know if you can catch it on the camera, manufactured 1981, which makes this 40 years old, so not so sure it's going to work either way. We have the old school attachment that goes on the barrel of your shotgun to launch it. And then we have these specially designed cartridges that say right on them, launching cartridge. Do not try that. Well, first of all, don't try anything I'm doing. This is old stuff. It may not even work. Don't do this at home. But we're just going to give a demo of what it might be like to suppress a riot in, the 80s, the early 80s. But again, if you do, make sure you have a launching cartridge. A regular cartridge will go right through this. Blow it up, you'll have a bad day. So I have two of these launching cartridges. So what we're going to do, we're going to launch this grenade. And the way this works, you just put it down here. It retains the spoon. And then you pull the pin. And then when you launch it, the spoon comes off. And 2-3 seconds later, it goes off. And everybody down there smells a lot of CN. Now, besides being old, these are like practically and tactically outdated because this is CN, not CS or OC or pepper spray or whatever. They stopped using CN many years ago for, among other reasons, it has a tendency to displace oxygen. So if you were to throw this in a small room while you're gassing the guy out, you might suffocate him, which is not the intention of the riot control stuff or the, whatever reason you might be using gas. So what we're going to do, leave the pin in, fire this, watch it fly, see about where it goes. If that works okay, I got another cartridge, we'll pull the pin and see if we can get it to actually go off. It's 40 years old. I'm giving like maybe 50% odds that it's going to go off at all. But you guys will know as soon as I do. Well, I'll know when I'm making the video. You'll know when you see it. Are we ready? Let's go. So that did exactly what I wanted it to do. If it was a riot control agent, I'm standing about 50 yards away from the berm, 50, 60, and you saw how I launched it. You saw the angle I launched it. It hit the ground and it rolled right to the berm. So if the berm was a crowd of rioters, it would be right where I want it to be. So we'll cut this. I'll go pick that up, see if it's in any condition to launch it with the smoke, and we'll go then. All right, we went and recovered the grenade. It's a little smoky, as you'd expect from the powder burns. Seems to still be in working condition. So we're going to try it again, actually deploying it where hopefully, and again what we're going to do, put it in there, make sure the spoon's holding it good, pull that pin. Now the spoon's being retained by the launcher itself. Now this time, in theory, it's a 40-year-old grenade, so it may not go off. But in theory, it's going to hit down there and a few seconds later start pouring out CN smoke. So we're going to go down there and look at it. If you hear us coughing a lot, you know it worked. All right, let's go have a look. It does not look to me like it worked. Delivery system worked great. The grenade didn't go off. Can't say I'm surprised at all. All right, you can see it's right down there in the weeds. It did not go off. We're going to leave it there for a while just for extra safety. Come back and properly dispose of it. I got one more little surprise for you when it comes to old riot control gear. So we'll cut here and be right back. All right, next up in the category of really old riot control stuff, we have just a CS grenade. Now this is, you see I got my gloves on because this has been in plastic for many years. I don't know if some of the agent has seeped out and I don't want CS on my hands just for fun. But this is going to work like a regular, grenade you might be familiar with if you're in the military, or like a flashbang grenade. You're going to pull the pin. You're going to make sure and hold the spoon until you're ready to fire it or drop it. And I'm just going to chuck it down there, and if it's like the rifle grenade or the shotgun grenade, nothing's going to happen. But if it's still got the right chemical balance or whatever in that fuse, we'll get a nice little cloud of CS. This is a CS, not a CN. So here we go. All right, so that's definitely doing what it's supposed to do. And I'm glutton for punishment, so I'll get over here just enough so you can watch me be miserable for a second. If you've ever walked through a CS cloud, this is where you hold your breath. Wow. All right, thanks to the miracles of editing, you guys didn't see me getting a little affected by that CS grenade. I think my cameraman missed it, but I walked right into the cloud just to take one for the team, and I regret that. So, last thing I got for you guys in the category of super old riot control stuff is basically, this is called Trebor Stinger ammunition. Basically, think like today it would be your beanbag rounds, but these are the close range, which is considered hazardous under 10 feet and best at 10 to 100 feet. So we're about 20 or 30 feet from that vest I took off a minute ago, and we'll just give it a few rounds and see if it wants to stop rioting. And these are ridiculously poorly made and old. They basically are spray painted, so they're jamming up the gun. But here goes another one. Well, here should have gone another one. All right, if we learn anything, it's don't spray paint your shells and try to use them 40 years later. All right, so what was going on there is those old cartridges were actually like painted with fluorescent paint, which made them oversized, and the paint was scraping off, and they're old, and it was jamming up the gun. But what you have here is basically a beanbag, like you'd see today. This is the old flat style. Most of them have gone to the ones with a tail now, but basically a beanbag. So there you have it. Well, that's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, hit all that stuff, do all that good YouTube stuff. As always, guys, work, train, repeat. Stay safe.